Hello everyone and welcome to Octagon News. Today we're bringing you the latest news and updates from the world of MMA. In this video we'll dive into Joe Rogan's concerns about Conor McGregor's UFC future, hear Michael Johnson reflect on his fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov, and discuss Donald Cerrone's plans for a summer UFC return. Stay tuned, let's get started. Michael Johnson fought the who's who in MMA, including Khabib Nurmagomedov. Johnson was submitted by Nurmagomedov in the third round of their lightweight bout at UFC 205 in November 2016. Johnson hung tough, but Nurmagomedov's grappling proved to be too overwhelming. Johnson's fight with Nurmagomedov produced one of the most infamous in Octagon clips where Khabib was heard telling Johnson, "You have to give up, I need to fight for the title," before eventually yanking his arm for the Kimura win. He felt like a middleweight, and that's a problem. I couldn't move, but he helped me get better. I went back to the gym and started working on that, so without that fight, I wouldn't be here. Nurmagomedov would go on to capture the UFC lightweight title and defend it 3 times before hanging up his gloves undefeated. Johnson has since had mixed results, but is still trucking in arguably the sport's toughest division. What do you think? Was Khabib a weight bully? And did that contribute to his dominance in his division? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Donald Cerrone is taking the proper steps to make his UFC return a reality in 2025. Cerrone, who at a time held UFC returns for fights, wins, finishes, and bonuses, retired from competition in July 2022. He went winless in his final 7 Octagon appearances and admitted his love for the sport had fizzled. 3 years later, Cowboy is preparing a comeback. There is a process to be followed, however, and it started with Cerrone putting himself back in the UFC's anti-doping program. "I just re-entered the testing pool. I have to be 6 months clean. Probably June, July, we will make the comeback. Coming back for 2 more, just 2 more. I want 50 fights in the UFC. I promised the wife no matter what happens, no matter the outcomes, 2 more, and that's it." Conor McGregor hasn't competed in the UFC in roughly 3.5 years, and the way things are going, Joe Rogan isn't sure the promotion's biggest star will ever step back into the octagon. Rogan's pessimistic outlook on McGregor's fighting career comes after the former 2-division champion lost a civil trial in which a woman, Nikita Hand, alleged that he raped her in a Dublin hotel room back in 2018. After nearly 2 weeks of court proceedings last month, which included testimony from McGregor, a jury found him liable for assault. Although UFC CEO Dana White shrugged off the trial's outcome having the ability to negatively impact McGregor's career, what Rogan heard from McGregor during the trial has him questioning his future. "I don't know if Conor's ever going to fight again. I don't know the real details of that case. I know his version of it and her version of it and what played out in the court. But the reality is, that guy's partying, and he's partying real hard. And he talked about it in the court case. He's talking about doing cocaine." While Rogan wouldn't go so far as to excuse McGregor's alleged behavior in the case, as well as other transgressions through the years, he wonders how much traumatic brain injury has affected McGregor and whether or not he lives in a perpetual state of drug dependency. We've all seen Conor get beat up and knocked out. We've seen Conor's sparring footage. He's sparring pro boxers. He's sparring elite fighters. You're getting hit in the head a lot. And a lot of fighters, especially toward the end of their career, turn to drugs. And I think there's probably a constant state of discomfort that they live in. You're not supposed to get punched in the head 1,000 times a year. It's just not supposed to happen, and that's the reality of consistent training. McGregor spent a good portion of 2024 training for his UFC comeback after he signed on to headline UFC 303 against Michael Chandler this past June. However, a broken pinky toe suffered in camp forced McGregor to withdraw roughly 4 weeks before the fight. It's unclear when or if McGregor will return to the cage, with White saying it wouldn't happen until the later portion of 2025 if so. McGregor last week raised eyebrows when he tweeted that he's agreed to face Logan Paul in an exhibition boxing match, although that claim has yet to be substantiated by White or the UFC. What do you think? Will Conor McGregor ever fight in the Octagon again? If he does, who should he face upon his return? Share your opinions in the comments below. That's all for today's MMA news. If you enjoyed these updates, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for more exciting MMA news. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.